Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to day 9 Ladies Dancing. So of course for 9 Ladies Dancing, I thought of something that I loved, that I enjoy. So I decided today, for day number 9 of 12 Days of aleXmas, we're going to do our 9 favorite palettes that I ranked this year. If you have been following me this year, you know that every 2 months I've been ranking palettes that are either new or old, whatever I'm using for those 2 months, I'm ranking in a video to see how they fall within each other. So out of all those videos, I went through all of them and I chose my top 9 palettes that I ranked this year that I genuinely love and have been enjoying and have been rocking and have been thinking about not putting down, wearing it on my spare time, so on and so forth. So if that's something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with an Ash Project pan. If that's something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now let's get on with day number 9. All right, you guys, I might look like a little bit like Rudolph today. Go figure. The week that I'm filming this video, I am finally taking the plunge and I'm going to go see a specialist when it comes to my allergies because I just cannot function when I'm outside, no matter what I take from the drugstore. So I know I need medical help now after 20 years of having allergies. So I know it's time to finally see somebody. And here is how that little black cloud that follows me around life happens. Little Murphy's Law. They told me I'm not allowed to take anything 3 days prior to my visit. Literally today is like the 3rd where I can't take anything starting today. And I normally don't need to. So I'm like, I got this. I'm good. Why'd I wake up today with an allergy attack? My nose keeps running. I keep blowing my nose. I can't control it. My nose is red because I have literally wiped off my makeup. And here I am suffering because I can't take anything. I haven't had to take anything for about 2 months. And today I need it and I can't take it. That's the story of my life. So anyway, you guys are here to check out my top 9 palettes. Now, these are not ranked in this video. I'm just going to share them with you guys. You have seen them. You have seen them in videos, tutorials, favorites, rankings. I mean, you've probably seen these palettes the most throughout this year for a good reason. They're really good to me. I love these palettes. So let's get started. First up is the Zendo palette. You guys, this one surprisingly has been one of my favorites this year. You guys have seen how much this has been used. I love this. And I'm actually going to keep it out because I want to do a green look with this palette. I think it's beautiful. It's one of my favorites due to the color story, not necessarily because it doesn't have her high shine formula. It's mainly because she has that cream to powder. Her formulas are amazing no matter what she does. And the color story really, really catches my attention. This is one of her few palettes that I own that I can use all year round without having to feel like it's too warm tone, too cool tone. Besides the Biba palette, 'cause that's more neutral, but I like this one a ton, and you guys have seen me pull this out a lot. Up next, you guys, is my Urban Decay Wild West palette. Oh, I have loved this palette. Now, this formula is very tough to hit pan on, as you guys might know. So this is going to take me a long time for it to look used, but I'm telling you, I have used this palette a lot. A lot. I haven't reached for it now that it has become cooler because I'm reaching for other things. But during the fall, up until like October-ish, beginning of November, I'm still using this palette. I really, really liked it. This blew me away. Like seriously, Urban Decay, it's been a while since one of their naked palettes has really like grabbed me. And this one I genuinely just really, really love. I would recommend this over and over and over. This one is not one that you've seen often, but I really do like it. This is the Give Me Glow Sweet and Sticky. Now, the reason why I like it is because this is like my church palette. On Sundays, I don't do anything on social media. I take the day off. I just do me, and I typically go to church. And I like to have a subdued look, and this is the palette that I normally go for. These are so pigmented. It looks like I barely even made a dent on these. I'm telling you guys, it's a beautiful palette. I got the coolers, I got the warmer tones, I got the in-betweens, and then I got 2 different shimmers in here that are just enough where I don't need anything extravagant. I don't need anything bold on my eyes. It's just simple to the point. I really, really like this one. They did a good job with this one because they're very colorful in the other palettes, so I'm happy that they had one toned down. All right, I just sneezed, so I don't know if I just sneezed off my lashes Sorry, you guys. Up next, you guys saw it already as I'm holding it. This is the Wilderness palette. This one, oh my goodness, it just gets me. I actually follow an Instagrammer on my panning page, and she did a monochromatic look with this palette, and it just turned out so beautiful. She did like a light blue look, a greenish look, a darker green look, a neutral look, and then a red look. It was just so beautiful. I really like it. Now, I wanted to reach for this one this morning, but I reached for a different one. But I would have used these reds today if it wasn't for me trying to use a different one instead today. But this one still catches my attention. It still draws me in. I still recently use it. My all-time favorite 2 shades in this palette, period, end of story, are this shade right up here called Bay and Leaf. I love this. I just put this all over my whole entire lid and crease, and I'm done. It's a one and done shadow, and this green is like that perfect green I love. I love it. It's not too chartreuse, but it's not too deep. It's just perfect. Love these two. Pairing them together or just on their own, they're amazing. Really like this palette a lot. Up next, you guys, we have the Naked Tutorials palette with Beauty Bay. You guys know, I have used this one a lot. This is another one where I can use in the spring, summer, all the way into the fall. This side is more fallish. That side is more spring. I really like this palette. I know, I've said it over and over, the mattes are not the best, but they're still workable. You could still use them. And the shimmers are what is the star of this whole entire thing. Like Beauty Bay in general, their shimmers are the best thing. The mattes you can still use. They're not terrible. They're good, you guys. So I don't know. I guess some people have higher standards or I have lower standards. I guess I know so many formulas that I know when something's really bad and something can be used by other people. This formula does cater to certain individuals that don't like a pigmented shadow, that want something light, that maybe want something buildable. That could be for them. So I love this palette. I really do. It's been one of my favorites all year. This one came into my life late due to its manufacturing process, but it is one of my very most unique color stories I own, period, end of story. I cannot wait till after the holiday season and I'm done wearing my gold and greens and silvers and reds and I could just stick to this because this is like my true January palette. I'm dying to pull this out in January and really rocking it out. I think it's beautiful. Love it. The only shade I had an issue with was Spooky right here. But we're going to continue to play around with it and see if it's maybe because it was springy summertime and it was a little bit warmer. Maybe in the cooler months it'll work a little bit better on my eyelids. But other than that, it was a palette that still sticks in my brain. This one, oh my goodness, Club Nebula. It is beautiful by Kaledios. This was my first purchase from Kaledios and I really do love their formula. It's really good. It's very, very good. It's a beautiful palette. She did a great job on this. I love the shimmer toppers on here. I love the vibrancy. I love that I'm getting the cooler, warmer, colorful, neutral. It's everything in here, and she did such a good job with this palette. It has been taking me a lot to not reach for this because, again, I feel like this is a January palette for me. So this is going to be pulled out again in January with this one because I'm going to be rocking these a lot. Last two come from the same brand. The first one is the Blueberry Muffin palette. You guys, I've said it and I said it again. If I were to choose a blue color palette, this would be the one that I would love the most because it doesn't have a ton of blue, but it still has blue. So I still get that variety of blue. And when I did my palette bingo, I did not even get one blue shade in there and it still came out a beautiful look. So I really like it. The quality's amazing. BH has really stepped up their game in the last few years, and I think that they have done such an amazing job with their palette. So this is definitely one that has stuck out, and I've always whenever I think of BH, this is one of the palettes I always think of. And last but not least is the Awakate Toast. This one, I love it. Loved it in the summer, loved it in the spring, loved it in March, loved it in the fall. I mean, the only time I really don't want to reach for this one is in the dead of winter because I think of blues. But other than that, this palette goes for everything, everything. I really like this palette. It's so pretty. Quality's amazing. You're getting so many different colors that go together, but yet you could separate them to have so many different looks where it's not just the same boring look over and over and over. Great quality on this one too. So they did an amazing job. And this is another palette that I ranked this year that I just adore. Alrighty, folks, those are my 9 ladies dancing right here. Woo! Dancing right here. Woo! They danced right off of the pile, didn't they? Good thing I have a basket down there and it just literally landed in the basket. So here are my 9 palettes, you guys. I love all of these. These have been my favorite throughout the year. I've enjoyed them. They're not necessarily my all-time favorite. Don't worry, that'll be coming up. But these are palettes that I specifically ranked that I was just like, yes, these ones stick out. These ones I've reached over and over. These are the ones that I've showcased in other videos throughout the year. They're just great. And I'm not the only one raving about them. I'm sure you've seen them on other content creators. And it is for a good reason, you guys. I will link these down in the description box. If you're interested in checking any of these out, let me know which ones have been your favorite for the year. Thank you guys so much for watching. More videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.